EastEnders confirms Cindy's two shock bombshells in early iPlayer release. Kathy faces an impossible decision. Cindy couldn't believe her luck this week when she stumbled across a secret chat between Kathy and Harvey, who have been embroiled in an affair for months, and recorded them kissing. As Ian organised a welcome home party for baby Jimmy in the Vic in today's episode, Kathy got a shock when Cindy revealed the footage of her and Harvey. Cindy used this secret and the Christmas Day attack to try and blackmail Kathy into signing over the house and two businesses to her. When Kathy refused to roll over, Cindy reminded her that Harvey had inadvertently covered up an attempted murder by giving her an alibi, with only hours to make her decision. Kathy told Harvey about this worrying development, and she was forced to admit that she was responsible for Cindy's attack. Kathy tried to come clean to Ian, but when her son explained how relieved he was to finally be free of Cindy, she couldn't bring herself to tell him the truth. Instead, she called round to see Cindy and promised to sign the papers if she deleted the footage, but it wasn't the deal that was originally on the table. Cindy initially refused to compromise, but changed her mind when Kathy pointed out that getting her sent to prison or taking everything from Ian would rule out any chance of reconciling with her family. Kathy then arrived at the party at the Vic and assured Harvey that the video had been deleted. As Ian made a toast, Cindy made a dramatic entrance and announced herself as the new owner of the Albert. With her loved ones furious, Cindy attempted once more to make amends with Peter, but he was devastated that she had blackmailed his gran. Cindy couldn't believe that she was still facing consequences for her affair, while Kathy had gotten away with everything. So she decided to expose her big secret during Elaine's toast to newly engaged Harvey and Jean. Cindy connected her phone to the projector and played the footage of Harvey and Kathy on screen, having not deleted every copy, as Jean discovered Harvey's unexpected betrayal. How will she deal with this shocking news? EastEnders Ravi attacks Joel, as Avani makes heartbreaking admission. If there's one thing we've learned about Ravi, is that nobody messes with his daughter, Avani Nandra Hart. Remember when he dangled poor, innocent Barney Mitchell off the Turpin Road viaduct? Well, if Joel's dad Ross hadn't intervened in tonight's episode, we'd have probably seen that again. As viewers of the BBC soap have seen, Avani and Joel have grown closer following his arrival in Walford from Australia earlier this year. In fact, they became so close that she decided that he was the one she should lose her virginity with, unaware that he had secretly recorded the dalliance and later showed his pal Tommy Moon. As it transpired, Joel has quite the wicked history of disturbing behaviour towards girls. It was because of an upskirting incident that his family were forced to flee Sydney, leaving his dad in mountains of debt. Ross was forced to pay $50,000 to the girl's family, who then wanted him nowhere near their daughter. The second time that Joel and Avani slept together, Ross and partner Vicky Fowler walked in on them. Vicky found hilarity in the situation, until she discovered the gravity of his devious past. Ross found the video of Avani and made his son delete it, but of course he didn't. Vicky thought it would be best if Ross spoke with Avani's parents about what she and Joel had been up to, but was clearly worried about what would happen if they found out the shocking truth. Deciding to speak with Avani instead, their chat was overseen by Suki Panasar Unwin, who wanted to know why her granddaughter was having secret conversations with an older man. After some conflicting stories, Suki marched over to speak with Ross herself, and was gobsmacked to hear what Avani and Joel had done. She implored Avani to open up to Mum Priya, but due to the youngster's embarrassment over the situation, she had to do it herself. What neither women realised was that Ravi had overheard, and suddenly saw red. He raced out into the square and caught sight of Joel, smashing through the front door and pinning him up against the wall in the living room. Ross was stood on the other side of the room and launched himself onto Ravi, fiercely defending his son. Avani then stormed in and had to tell her dad that the act was fully consensual. After rushing off to the park, she broke down in Suki's arms, saying that her only hope was to feel wanted. Will Avani ever be able to move forward? And what will Ravi do when he inevitably learns about the sex tape? EastEnders Zach plans Walford exit, and he's taking someone with him. Zach learned earlier this year that a prior fling with Nicola resulted in the birth of his son, teenage Barney Mitchell. Still smarting from the death of baby Peach and ex-Whitney Dean taking his daughter Dolly away, broody Zach immediately set out to connect with the son he never knew he had. Not a good idea, as Nicola was determined to keep the truth about Barney's parentage from both the lad and his dad, Teddy. When a beating from her thugs failed to dissuade Zach, Nicola resorted to even nastier tactics, sharing that she had been responsible for the death of Shireen Bashar and would do the same for Zach, Whitney and Dolly if he didn't back off. With Whitney in hiding, Zach plans on fleeing Walford also, and he's planning on taking his son with him. This comes as Zach hears from Whitney, who tells him that she's found a safe place for her and the girls to live, away from Nicola. He shares the news with Vicky Fowler, who suggests that he should pay them a visit, putting some distance between himself and the Mitchells. However, Zach is given food for thought when he bumps into Barney and learns that the youth is struggling with feelings of isolation for his family. After talking to Barney, Zach tells Vicky that he's going to see Whitney and the girls, but he'll be taking Barney too. Set on his plan, Zach begins to gather evidence that Barney isn't safe around Nicola and Teddy. However, his plan to steal Barney away from the Mitchells has Vicky worried. Can she talk Zach out of his scheme before he puts himself in danger of the Mitchells' wrath? EastEnders Avani makes devastating confession in dark Joel's story. The teen opened up to Suki. Last week, Avani and Joel had sex. In the aftermath, Joel's father Ross discovered his son had filmed the encounter without the girl's consent and had even showed it to Tommy Moon. In tonight's episode, the dark storyline continued, and Avani was embarrassed to open up to Suki about her brief fling with Joel. "I don't want another inquisition," the teen told her grandmother in the square, but Suki wasn't going to let it go. At home, she made sure Avani hadn't been pressured into her decision to have sex. "I just wish you waited a bit longer," Suki told Avani, insisting her first time should be special, or at least mean something. "We wanted to do it, so we did it. It's not a big deal," Avani said. "It's not even that deep. We had fun," she continued, adding that things between her and Joel were already over. While Avani sounded unfazed, a concerned Suki spoke with Eve, who tried to reassure her to no avail. Unable to let it go, Suki alerted her daughter Priya about Avani and Joel. "There is something bothering Avani," Suki said, revealing her granddaughter slept with Joel. "I suppose he just took full advantage of how vulnerable she is," Suki added, unaware Avani's dad Ravi was in earshot. A furious Ravi immediately headed to Joel's place, with a brawl ensuing with the teen's dad. Avani interjected to stop the fight, saying it was her decision to sleep with Joel before storming out. Ross agreed not to press charges on the attack on his son, but warned Ravi to stay away. At the playground, Suki comforted Avani, saying she could understand what it felt like to be young and wanting to feel desired. "I just wanted to feel wanted," Avani said in tears, realizing her experience with Joel hadn't been as nice as she said it was. "You are so wanted, and you are worth so much more than you realize," Suki told her as she hugged her. In the final scenes, Priya rushed to comfort her daughter as the whole family reunited to throw their support behind her. Will Avani find out about the video?
Các bạn vừa theo dõi một sản phẩm của EastEnders Spoiler TV. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn.